What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your boy AT2 here. This I found this morning with Jimalita, who is the plaintiff suing Ochocinco and Shannon Sharpe. Now, a lot of people are just focused on Shannon Sharpe, and for good reason, because it's Shannon Sharpe, Ochocinco, and Shay Shay Media. So it got Shannon Sharpe name all over it. But at the end of the day, Jimalita, she is suing because she felt defamed. She claims to be a private citizen. She didn't like that they were talking about she was married and all this other junk. But we're going to go ahead and get into her story. Please go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. And we'll get right into it, you guys, after the intro. Welcome to a brand new episode of Talk the Real Deal with AT2. And yes, I'm your boy AT2. How everybody doing? How everybody living? How everybody feeling? Let's go ahead and say what's up to the people before we start. What's up, Poetic? What's up, Joy? Nice to see all my members. Brown Eye Cancer, too, in the building. What's up, Megan? What's up, Cam? We got Winnie up in the building. Who else? We got K Pearl. We got EH. Denitria. How you doing, Denitria? We also got Sun up in the building. Hello, hello, hello. So again, for those of you who don't know, Jamila is the woman suing Shannon Sharpe and Ochocinco for the stuff they said about her viral moment with Usher when she was eating them cherries. You know how he does that cherry thing? Nobody told you to do that. No one told you to be sexually suggestive with the damn cherries. Ain't nobody told you to do that. Naturally, it went viral. People got commentary. But I can also see her side of the story too, because she did let us know she asked them to take it down a long time ago, their commentary, but they decided to ignore her. So let's go ahead and get into the video without further ado. Here we go. Shout out to the Morning Hustle.
Yeah.
Jimalita Tillman, okay? AKA, we done deemed her Auntie Cherry now. They trying to mess up the damn nickname because we was running with the nickname.
So she goes by Auntie Cherry because she's the cherry lady. All that. She's the cherry lady. So you even have that moniker. So you mad because they making fun of you? Let it play. I'm sorry.
Really like the whole situation that happened between you and Usher back in April. But now we have a whole situation going on between Shannon Sharpe, Chad Ochocinco, and yourself, and kind of a defamation situation.
Absolutely.
Right now, we've been hearing for quite some time. I thought we debunked the rumor that you were married and your husband left you behind the actions that happened at the Usher concert. Once again, not true.
Not true. Not married. No divorce. Was not married at the time of the fan participation. When we came here, we had a great moment just to be able to share it in the light.
We joked about it.
Let people know, hey, no, this is not that. That's just entertainment. It was a moment. That was it. The almost the very same day I leave your show, the couple days later, they run in with the story after I'm on this amazing award-winning, nationally recognized morning.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't see the first interview. I did not see it. Put a 1 in the chat if you've seen the first interview. Put a 2 in the chat. You had no clue that she did an interview. 1 in the chat, you seen it. 2 in the chat, you had no clue.
Come on, somebody.
It's the fact it shows how out of touch and how out of tune, or how much disregard that they have for being able to have journalistic integrity of researching the facts.
I know that's right. So this is a $20 million lawsuit. If you win, I want $1 at least. Right? Okay. But here's the thing. We could joke about it, but you gave them an opportunity to even be able to retract it, just to apologize. You sent out emails, letters, you've spoken with people, the
Yes.
producers over there, everything, and still they chose not to take it down.
Absolutely. So when it all began, this is back in April. Many people are just hearing about it now. And that shows I'm not into trying to get a media hit about this. It got picked up. I'm not even sure how. I'm not really talking about the nuts and bolts of the case.
Right.
But this case is about Shay Shay Media. It's about Pink D.
Keep that in the back of your mind. Like, she's not sure how this got out. Keep that in the back of your mind because she probably messed herself up and didn't realize. Keep that in the back of your mind, though.
The production company that was not fact checking it, or if they did not care enough. I sent emails, I sent letters. Clearly they opened it, they responded because they made it private. They did not take it down, and it didn't take it down immediately. And even as of July 31st, things were still on ways to find it on their podcast, on Apple and their other mediums in which they do it. And this is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah.
And right now, as it stands, there's no oversight. There's no regulation, and there's nobody calling anyone on the carpet when they're earning tens of millions of dollars for clicks, likes, and follows and through advertisers. They don't have the overhead that you guys have here. They can have two men, a microphone, and a producer that's supposed to fact check, and they're not doing right by that. And as a private citizen, my rights were encroached upon. This is wrong. And something needs to happen about this. And I said, you know what? I'm going to see you in court since they did not want to do the right thing.
Going back to school, this is back to school week for some.
So she's like, they didn't fact check or anything like that. They need to go ahead, take the video down. And I was going to say, I cannot find the video where they were talking about it. So they must have taken it down. But yeah, she's saying like, you know, with their platform, because they're a large platform and they're talking about it, this is the reason why it was so detrimental to her. But again, she claims to be a private person. Just keep that in the back of your mind, you guys.
Some people, and you have the top homeschooling system, right?
Absolutely.
Now, how did that play a part in what's going on right now in your $20 million lawsuit against Chad Ochocinco and Club Shay Shay?
Well, one, in homeschooling and being one of the top homeschool moms in the country, one of the things I'm teaching parents, be it a single mom, single dad, families in general, that you don't have to have a whole lot in order to make this happen. And a part of it is because I was a single mom, I was able to homeschool my daughter from when she was a baby all the way to her getting her doctorate at 17 years old. And that's a part of what I train the parents on. I teach parents how to homeschool their children. And in the midst of me talking to the parents that were on the Zoom about the matter that had taken place, then, you know, letting them know, no, I don't have a husband. No, I'm not, you know, hiding some man in the closet where I'm like, I'm a single mom and you can do this too. But all along I got a champion next to me. No, that wasn't the case. And that was part of the issue on that call. And then one of the dads said, well, there's no way you're telling us the truth. You should have told us that you had a husband because, and then they mentioned that on the nightcap show, I guess it was 2 days prior to this call, they had they were on their stream and they were talking about me and that how I kissed this man and all this stuff. And that's how I found out about the fact that it was on the Shannon Sharpe show. So
it made it seem like.
So one of the parents who she helps with homeschooling mentioned that she should have told them that she was married and all this other stuff. Why would a parent that you're helping with homeschooling ask you about your personal life? What does that have to do with anything, right? That doesn't make any sense to me at all.
You were false advertising in order to get people to join your program, which wasn't the case. And it is crazy because you're saying this and I've literally had to defend you at certain places because they was like, didn't that woman, that's the woman who husband left her because of Usher? Right. And I was like, she's not married. Like, and so I can understand how that could be difficult for you. Furthermore, Shannon Sharpe didn't like the narrative that was out there about him sleeping with teenagers, right? So when you think about being careful about using your words, you would think that he would be one of those people, correct?
Absolutely. And I'm a private citizen. And in the rules, when it comes to that, me as a private citizen, you better fact check and double check what you're saying and what you're doing because it's wrong. I'm not a public figure. I've done a lot of amazing things within my community, within the homeschool community, and within art and culture. And every time.
By the way, and thank you, Demetria, for pointing that out. There was one of the articles that I read that said that they are in talks with her, but she just did this today. So that's the interesting thing. So either they weren't able to come to like a mutual agreement and now she's going public with this, or maybe she doesn't know that the lawyers, they're talking to each other. But I read some article that said that the lawyers have reached out to her people, so they're trying to settle.
Time I enter a meeting for funding, for programming and activations and things, it comes up. I'm tired of being the punchline when it comes to that aspect of, I'm like, well, I'm not married. Well, you're not married now. It's like, no, I wasn't.
Yeah.
And the fact that they, across their platform, they have 20 million plus viewers. Okay, across their platforms, when you look at them combined. And this is not about the individual men. Their media company is an award-winning, multi-million-dollar funded institution. This is literally David and Goliath right now. Because when people are thinking about it, they're looking at it as Jimalita versus this man.
Yeah.
This is not that. He's a major corporation. Pink Deer, which is ran by Christian Deer, is a major corporation that specializes and has been specially trained. This man had media training.
Yeah.
He is a journalist. Wins all these awards. He knows better. And within the integrity, you should check where's your source.
Yeah.
You should be able to double check what you're saying. And the way they kept my image up and the way they kept it going in the chat and was going on and on, it was mortifying. It was terrible. And I feel like there needs to be oversight. There needs to be regulation. And I plan to do something about it. I'm taking this to Congress. This is not just stopping in the courtroom.
Not Congress.
And you know what? Some people are saying that potentially because he gave a payout to the OnlyFans girl. They're saying rumored $23 million. She was able to retire from OnlyFans. Some people are saying, well, that's why this woman is now coming trying to get $20 million.
I thought the same way before I knew it was you. When I just read the headline, I'm like, oh, there's somebody else going after a black man.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting because the headline caught, again, this goes where the regulation and oversight needs to go, because the headline initially ran not by credible journalists. Let's just go there with it. It ran by people that wanted to get the click, the link, and the buzz.
The clickbait.
The clickbait. That's exactly how it started. My case actually hit the courtroom in April. It hit in April. That's when I first originally filed. And this has been going on. And they had all this time to say, hey, let's come to the table.
So that's interesting. Like, she's saying that they filed back in April and we're just hearing about all this.
Let's figure out how to retract this. They ignored it. It was not a priority. It was not important. My integrity was not important to them. This is not about a fan participation moment. This is about protecting all private citizens from people who have a bully pulpit, a cyberbullying pulpit that's funded by the tunes of tens of millions of dollars. Not only do they get money from advertisers, but they get money for monetizing click and bait and then licensing and resharing these shows. And that is why Chairman Guthrie, who was in charge of the House Committee on Energy and Commerce, and the other 54 members of that committee will be meeting with me this week so that we can put forth a hearing so that there can be legislation in place to be able to hold them accountable.
I know that's right. And you know what's sad about this? This all could have been fixed by them retracting their statement.
That's what I was
or
gonna ask
simply taking down, because we've had situations before where artists have gotten upset about a question or something, and because we respect the relationship, we remove it or we take it down.
But you also have oversight. Let's just be real. There are rules that are in place to ensure that you protect the journalistic integrity of what you do.
Oh yeah, we get in trouble if we say something that is right. Okay, fines and all.
You know, I'm surprised this hasn't been, well, it probably hasn't got to that point, but if her whole argument is that they said that I was married and people are thinking that I was out cheating on my husband and blah, blah, blah. I honestly think a judge is going to throw this out. I do. I don't even think this is going to go to trial unless the only thing I can think of is a few things. Shannon Sharpe settles. 2, she ends up, the judge ends up throwing this out. Or 3, she realizes that this ain't really a good reason to sue, and she gets so much backlash and hate from it that she ends up dropping it herself, dismissing the case herself.
And that's why it needs to be clear. This is just not about just an I'm sorry. They don't even have a policy. This particular entity, this institution of Shay Shay Media, does not have a policy in place about false information, reporting information,
Now, here's something that I want to tell you guys. So if Shay Shay Media recognizes themselves as an entertainment company and not a journalist, you know, entertainment and journalism are two different things. When you're like a journalist publication, yes, you do have to be accurate as much as possible. Should be 100% accurate, but of course they don't. But there should be sources cited. If you're an entertainment company, you can say and do whatever you want to. Just like remember Fox News got sued from the Old Dominion with the election fraud stuff. Well, they had to come out and say, "Oh, we're not a news state. We're an entertainment station, an entertainment channel." So again, if Shay Shay recognizes themselves as entertainment and not journalism, there's not too much she can really do.
I didn't realize that.
There is nothing anywhere on Shay Shay Media's anything that states that. They do not feel that they have to be held accountable, and they do. They're one of many. They're not the only one. They're one of many of these type of podcasting, streaming media services that are receiving tens of millions of dollars. The podcasting industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. People are looking at it like this Jimalita Tillman from the south side of Chicago versus this Shannon Sharpe. This is not that. That grabs the headline. This is Shay Shay Media, an award-winning journalist that has done all this stuff. It's coincidental that the information hit the same day he got cut from where he was a journalist. Let's just go there with it. This is not poor Shay Shay. And this, I don't even know that man. I don't got nothing against that man. But at the end of the day, I will protect my name. I had a plan upon finishing my retirement to go ahead and launch micro schools and do more things within the homeschool community nationally. Now that I'm done with Dr. Tillman and now that I'm done with some of the parents in my smaller community, I wanted to be able to provide that opportunity nationally. Over the past 90 days, I have been mortified with having to deal with one-on-ones with moms and having to address and calm their ills of no, that's not the case. This is not true. This is who I am. Because it calls in question, are you lying then? Are you lying now? Was you married? Are you not married? Is it, it's that whole thing. And I don't like the way that makes me feel. That's the personal aspect.
One thing too, has she lost any clients or has she lost any money? Like, that's something that she hasn't mentioned on here too.
Aspect of it, but professionally, I think that I'm definitely, it takes a lot of courage to do this. I'm speaking up for those that cannot speak up, because at the end of the day, this does happen to people a lot, but there's no recourse for them. There's no oversight, there's no regulation, and there's no fines or fees. And there needs to be the same way that it would be in traditional journalism. The integrity must be there. The rules must change. Right now, podcasters, streaming services, and media services are self-governing, and it's the wild, wild west. This is not an indictment on free speech, because this is not that. This is about the integrity of journalism, fact-checking it and getting the story right, retracting it when it's wrong.
Sounds like you may be changing the podcast industry if this does go down.
Yes, ma'am.
And I do want to, I still want some of the money though, because I
let me hold something.
But
you let me hold a little something.
But
okay.
it's important to do it the right way.
I
This
do
is a
want
referendum on journalism right now.
So but before you asked for the money, you did ask them to take it down.
Yeah, I said, hey, can you please take this down?
I saw.
I'd like for you to issue an apology.
Okay.
I would like for you to retract the statement. You had over 15 million people that heard you say this. The chat was going on and popping.
Okay.
The other thing about it is people like smaller level platforms or other platforms were citing him as the journalistic news source where it came from.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And when I say that spread even more. And so them making it private, if that person still had it, they were still, going about, well, yeah, no, it's her. She's like tearing me down. And the thing about it is, I have the courage to stand up in this, what I'm calling a Job moment. Honestly, I have the courage to stand up and say, no, this ain't right. No, this is not what we're about to do. I'm not about to let them trivialize any of this. I'm talking about any of the people, anybody trivialize this, make it about whatever he was just going through legally anywhere else, whatever just happened with him in his professional circle there. He's talking about planning to really focus on his media company. His media company needs to focus on integrity of journalism. There needs to be rules in place, and they don't have that.
That's right. It sounds like this has affected your life, your business, and just your livelihood altogether. So, Jimalita Tillman, ladies and gentlemen, let them know where they can find you, follow you, support you, because you are a single mom.
I am.
With a homeschooling system that is the top.
Notice they keep driving home that single mom, single mother. Notice that.
in the country.
Absolutely. And I'm also the global director of the Harold Washington Cultural Center, which is an arts center that's committed to children, community, and culture. We service 25,000 youth with arts programming each year that we do as a nonprofit organization.
Yeah. Right.
This affected us with our funders, our donors. The question comes up, the moral turpitude, there's torturous interference of economic expectation at hand right now. And people need to understand this is not about the dollars and cents. This is about making sense of the world of podcasting, streaming, and online media, and making sure they're held accountable and that there's protocol.
Can I tell you something? I remember the whole Cherry incident, right? But like, I forgot about it. See how quickly we move on from stuff? We quickly move on from moments and times. Like, it's almost like, are you mad because you didn't capitalize off of it? Because I forgot about it. Put a 1 in the chat if you forgot about it. Put a 2 in the chat. You never even heard this story about the Usher Cherry incident. 1, you forgot about it. 2, you never even heard of this incident. Let's go back to the video.
Protocols in place to protect us from them. This is the David and Goliath moment, and I am sorry, Goliath, you're gonna have to take it on the chin on this one. Podcasters, we're coming for you.
And all that, and she can still have Usher put cherries in her mouth. She can have fun.
I know. Come on now. It's just a little fun. Okay.
Absolutely.
The joke is
all right, let's end this. So yeah, to me, the Cherry thing would have been more detrimental than anything, whether you were married or not, because you look like a floozy, like a slut. You know, I'm sorry to use the words, but we got to be honest. It made her look loose, right, with the whole Cherry thing. But even with that being said, I don't think that this has ruined your reputation, because let's not forget, you were out on tour talking about this situation because you were so happy that you went viral. So let's now pull up this video, you guys. You know, AT2 did his research. Here we go, you guys. This is 3 months ago when she was talking about the whole Cherry thing.
Just there because we were scouting theaters for an upcoming theater festival that we're going to put on from Chicago across the pond. And I said, well, let me go to dinner. And then I saw that Usher was in town. I said, well, I'm going to go.
Yes, she does plays, you guys. That's what she does also, as well as homeschooling. She does plays. She's a playwright.
Go to that show. So I went to the show. In the section that I'm sitting in, the security is like, well, Mr. Raymond's going to walk past you. Don't get up, just stay seated. He's going to walk past you. So we're sitting there and he's singing his thing, doing his thing. And then another young lady caught his attention that was from the UK. She had already heard about my story and why I was in town, which is I'm a retired homeschool mom, but now I'm really going full steam ahead in all things Broadway musical theater. And she said, oh, you need to meet her. She is the one. She needs those cherries. And then he said, you're from Chicago? I said, yes. And remember, he was the star of Chicago, the musical. I saw him on Broadway. And I said, yes, I'm from.
Cammy, you are crazy. But here she's trying to get into Broadway. So you are trying to be a public figure. Like, you're not this private citizen, lady. And what you did right there, you should have did that in private with them cherries, but you did it in public.
From Chicago. And so he said, well, come on over. And then he started singing and we locked eyes and we locked in. And it was a Broadway magical moment that was so magnetic. I didn't know that his tour had even started in Europe. I knew it had ended in the States. I knew he was going to be picking up some dates in the spring, but what are the chances and the odds? I was in London for 24 hours only. I came just to go look at theaters and meet some other actors, some kids that I helped homeschool from online, and then I was going to go to dinner. That's why I happened to have my dress, and so I was like, oh, this dress is going to be seen, and I was there, and it was like 30,000 people in the stadium, and everybody had their cameras focused on me. The village of Chicago has just been wrapping their arms around me, pouring into me, saying great things about me online, and they're letting everybody know, don't you dare come for Chicago, because Chicago will come for you. And that makes me feel proud. I have really leaned into adopting this moniker of Auntie Cherry, because that's what they've been calling me. And I even get the cherry earrings, the cherry nail polish. I said, okay, we're gonna ride this out. And I've been having
Does this seem like a miserable woman to you guys? Is she miserable? Her life has been damaged. She said she gonna ride this wave. Her name is Auntie Cherry. She gonna wear everything cherry. See, she got on a cherry shirt right now. Everything cherry. Now, I want to say this. I bet you anything Shannon Sharpe and his crap ass lawyers probably didn't even find this. And all you had to do was look up her name, Jimalita Tillman, and you see this video. It's one of the first ones that pop up.
Such a good time. But then you've got people that get a little crazy with cyber stalking and bullying and fan fiction. And I don't try not to lean into that, but someone even came up with this whole story that I had a husband, he brought me to the concert, I never, whatever, and he left me. I am not married. I am very single, ready to mingle. You got cherries in the passport. Give me a jingle. So, but seriously, like I really enjoyed the Broadway. So, but seriously, like whatever, and he left me. I am not married. I am very single, ready to mingle. You got cherries in the passport. Give me a jingle. So, but seriously, like I really enjoyed the Broadway theatrical component of the show. It was magnificent, and there's been more love than there has been.
Listen, this lady is funny as hell, and don't get me wrong, she's very smart. You know, there's a reason why she said her daughter got a doctorate at 17. She's smart. We're not even going to play her like she's not smart, but she knows what she's doing. She knows exactly what she's doing. You know, you got some cherries in a passport. Give me a jingle. We see you, Cherry. We see
negative online. And that's what I really, really appreciate about it. People from all over the arts community were like, you had a moment. You were channeling your inner Fosse. I was like, hey, big spender. I was up there locked in, and it was like a cool ocean breeze in that moment. Step outside of what you think people would think. Be present with the moment. Put your camera down. Everything is not meant for you to have. That somebody's going to capture that moment. I had no cameras in my hand, and I stood there. And the artists and live entertainers,
Shannon need a woman his own age. You know, this woman is probably like in her 40s or something like that, right? He need a woman more in his age bracket, not no 19-year-old, but he need a woman more in his age bracket. He should take her out on a date. You're right.
Feed off of you. You want to give them good energy on all levels of live theater and musicianship. And what I loved about this show is it was a Broadway style show. So be a part of the show. My background is in Broadway musical theater on the community side. I run the program, the Broadway in Bronzeville program, a part of the League of Chicago Theaters, and we own the Harold Washington Cultural Center. So we cultivate community talent to get them a Broadway experience. So we're going to be touring the States. They're going to go to New York during the Tony Awards, and then we go across to the pond, and it's going to be a full festival of vignettes, small playwrights, dancers, and some of them over there, and we will be doing a cultural exchange. This is what I'm doing in my retirement as a homeschool mom, because that's what I've been doing all this time, along with running the cultural center. Homeschool momming was my thing, but now I get to take it to the next step and focus fully on my theater and art, and I'm so excited about this, and I appreciate Usher for that moment that nobody knew would turn into this. And now we get so much love. Everybody's calling us at the center. What can we do? Log on, follow us. I'm going to be, now I'm going to be doing a cameo in one of our plays coming up as Auntie Cherry. I said, I got to do it. I'm going to say, give me an old fashioned, 2 cherries, not 1. That's my big line. That's my big piece. It's coming up on May 15th, running that weekend. Come check me out a weekend after Mother's Day.
Wait. That don't sound like she was damaged. Hold on, y'all. She said, I'm going to be like, give me 2 cherries. Oh,
so much love. Everybody's calling us at the center. What can we do? Log on, follow us. I'm going to be, now I'm going to be doing a cameo in one of our plays coming up as Auntie Cherry. I said, I got to do it. I'm going to say, give me an old fashioned, 2 cherries, not 1. That's my big line. That's my big piece. It's coming up on May 15th, running that weekend. Come check me out a weekend after Mother's Day.
Wow. So, for those of y'all who's on like, that lady deserves money, her life was ruined, she's a private citizen, she's a private citizen. Remember y'all was saying that? Married in the Islands, Karma, Remember y'all two was saying, she's a private citizen, give her some money. Remember y'all said that? Now how y'all feel? Put a 1 in the chat. You think this lady has a case. Put a 2 in the chat. You think this lady's just trying to capitalize off the moment. Let's see how y'all feel now. I'm going to go in the play and be like, give me 2 cherries. Now how y'all feel? 30-second countdown. Remember, 1 in the chat. Wait, hold on. What did I say, y'all? I forgot what I asked y'all now. Okay. Somebody remind me what I asked y'all because I just forgot what the hell I asked. Oh my God. I want her to get money. Listen, Angie, when you put it in that case, yeah, I want if the white girl got some money, I want the sister to get some money too. I'm just saying, y'all. I want the sister to get some money. If he gave the white girl 23 million, at least give her a cool 3 million. You know, we know she ain't gonna get as much as the white girl, but at least give her a 3. Oh, okay. 1 is she has a case, and then 2 is she trying to capitalize off the moment. Thank you, Denitria. See, Denitria be holding me down. Yeah. I'm telling you, she trying to capitalize off the moment. Everything in that interview explained everything. Like, she didn't sound hurt. She didn't say my life was ruined and all this stuff. She was laughing and giggling. And she even said, now I'm going to be in the play, and my line going to be, give me 2 cherries. And she even has the moniker Auntie Cherry now. Y'all, these people be trying to play in y'all face. And mind you, I'm going to even go a little bit further. I don't think Gabby Zuniga had a case either. I don't think she had a case. I think Shannon Sharpe was embarrassed and he didn't want to go along with, going to trial and stuff like that. And he was trying to get his job back at ESPN. Well, now that you fired, you should just went along with the case. You know what I mean? What's up, River? How you doing? She has no case. Yeah. Everything she said in that interview. And like I said, I bet you Shannon Sharpe lawyers did not do their research. Because like I said, and shout out to Denitria, like they're working on a settlement right now. On some kind of settlement. So knowing that, oh, you didn't do your research, because I would just pull that up to the judge. Hopefully they screen recorded it, or they can just rewatch my video. But hopefully they screen recorded it. That lady image ain't hurt. That lady gonna make listen. And maybe she's upset because she wasn't able to count. You know how people go viral and like they're able to get, like, for example, the lady that went to Pakistan. Remember her? She's still out here doing promos and everything. She out here working. Remember the black lady who was in Pakistan and she couldn't leave or whatever, and she went to go be with a 19-year-old? No, which is suspicious, but she's 33, I believe. But, over in Pakistan and all that, well, she's back in the States, and she's been doing promo all over social media, doing club appearances. She's working. And maybe Auntie Cherry felt like, well, damn, I thought I was going to still be working, and she's not working. At least, like I said, I forgot all about that moment. Like, I remember seeing it, but I forgot about it. That's the truth. So, which lets me know other people should probably forgot about it too. She's on Love and Hip. Oh, she on Love and Hip. See, I didn't even know that, Joy. And you be having me laughing and giggling too. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah. But Auntie Shay Shay, she, I said she. Oh, damn. Oh, because I said Auntie Shay Shay. That's why I said she. But Auntie Shay Shay, man, didn't I tell you the reason why ESPN fired him is because there's more lawsuits coming? Remember I told you guys that? And don't get me wrong, it's not just this one. There's a few more going to come out, but hey, people think my news is fake, right? Guess not everything's fake news. But please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This has been an awesome show. Oh, what's up, Sephora? This has been an awesome show. Like I said, Shannon Sharpe, I need to be a part of your team because I would have easily pulled this up and played this. I would have played this on Club Shay Shay and been like, okay, this lady is full of shit, y'all. Here we go. Here's the evidence right here. Exhibit number 1. Case would have been over. Dismissed right away. But again, let me know what y'all think. I love y'all. Be safe. We out. Oh, and there's another Trump and Jeffrey Epstein video that I did a pre-record to. It's going to be right after this one. Look out for it.